Good evening. We're going to ask if you would you turn off the test. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you all to the Holmes County Consolidated School Board meeting. We're going to ask that if you would, do to silence your phones or put them on vibrate so there won't be no disruption. And we're going to ask the other dean if you would
Sure, bow our head. O eternal God, we come before thy presence with bowed heads and humble hearts, as humble as we know how. Lord, first of all, before asking anything, we want to tell you thank you. For it was you, by your mercy and your grace, that we're here. And you've been provided an angel to watch over us all day. We thank you for it. Now, Lord, I pray your blessing upon this board, upon our superintendent, administrative staff, our school, our teachers, our students. I pray your blessing upon the parents. I pray your blessing upon this county. Lord God, let what we do here be pleasing in thy sight. Nothing done out of strife and vainglory, but that you're justified in everything that we do and say. Hear our prayer. And we'll give it back to you in praise and glory and honor in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Now before us an agenda with 23 items. What's the take of this board on this?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
I so move that we accept the agenda as is.
Second.
it's been moved by Ms. Williams and second by Elder Dean that this board will accept the agenda as is with a few minor changes if there be any. All those in favor, you sign and vote aye. Opposes, same side. Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. All right, resolution of admiration and respect.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion that this board adopt the resolution this year in the base and the resolution is represented. Second.
Been motioned by Mr. Horton and second by Elder Dean that this board will adopt the resolution of admiration and respect for Ms. Edna Bates and Ms. Meredith Anderson. All those in favor, use the sign of vote now. Opposed? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Item 4, academic recognition.
Good evening, Board President Anderson, board members, Dr. Henderson. It's always a great day when we can celebrate the accomplishments of our scholars. And tonight we have quite a few we'd like to recognize for their accomplishments, primarily in math and science. On Friday, March 1st, the Holmes County Consolidated School District showcased some of the country's best mathematicians at its annual District Math Fluency Tournament. This is the best and brightest math fluency tournament in the world. This year's academic competition was held at the campus of Goodman Pickens Elementary School. Mr. Kyle's paid me $1 to say that. Students in grades kindergarten through 5th grade competed in a bracket-style competition on addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In a tournament that began at the schools with nearly 1,500 students, the competitors earned one of the 96 slots of the district competition to be declared one of the 12 champions. This academically aligned event allowed students to complete up to 16,000 math problems in a 2-hour span. Several parents also attended the competition. The following students were recognized as champions, and as we call your name, if you will please come forward, if you're here. Kindergartners, Ian Coffey from Goodman Pickens and Ava Grant from William Dean. First grader, Ariana Kirkland from William Dean. Second graders, Hayden Lane from S.V. Marshall and Jeremiah Jefferson from William Dean. Third graders, Derek Freer from William Dean, the opinion and Taylor Pratt from Durant. Fourth graders, Javarius Gibson from William Dean and Cordell Thomas from William Dean. Fifth graders, Kendarius Freer from William Dean and Marion Crawford from William Dean. Ariana Kirkman, Hayden Lane, and Lamarian Crawford were also recognized for beating the sheet, meaning they correctly completed 100 problems within 2 minutes. Raise your hand if you did that. And guess what? The overall champion was William Dean Elementary School. Competitors and parents and teachers and principals for supporting your students. The Board of Education would pose for a picture with these scholars. Everybody say math is fun.
Math is fun.
Math is fun.
Math is fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so on Wednesday, February 27th, the Holmes County Consolidated School District Science Fair winners traveled to Delta State University to participate in the upper level regional science fair. The 7th through 12th graders competed against top competitors throughout the Delta region. A total of 12 students presented their projects to the judging panel. The results from the exhibition are as follows. From the high school, plants In sciences, first place goes to Justin Smith. Second place went to Xavier Black. In inorganic chemistry, we had a third place winner, Revere Moore. Engineering mechanics, third place, Isaac Randall. Behavioral and social sciences, a second place winner, Jalen Robinson. And from the middle school, Amos Hightower of Durant Elementary was a first place winner in inorganic chemistry. Kelsey Wade from William Sullivan Elementary was second place in inorganic chemistry. And Tyler Pickett from S.B. Marshall Elementary was a second place winner in behavioral and social science. And the USA Stockholm Junior Water Prize, Award of Excellence for a water-related science research project, goes to Caitlin Kimbrough from Holmes County Central High School. All of the students who placed at this science fair will compete at the state level science fair on April the 5th at Northeast Mississippi Community College in Boonville. Congratulations. To become a member, we've got lots of stuff, lots of academics going on. To become a member of the high school math competition team, students had to take several exams and complete dozens of problems correctly to qualify. Headed by Mr. Yadella, the accomplished squad traveled to the Mississippi University for Women in the math tournament conducted by the Mississippi School of Math and Science. There were 32 schools that participated from across the state, with approximately 700 students. The team competed in the areas of Algebra 1 and 2, trigonometry, geometry, and calculus. Our team competed rigorously, but unfortunately they placed just outside the top 10, but we felt it was important to recognize these individuals for their competitive nature. So Asia Webster, Megan Jennings, Giles, sorry if I mispronounced that, Lee Brown, Shakira Wilson, Rayla Thompson, Richandriana Simmons, Watez McGee, Demarcus Brown, Xavier Black, Jaleesa Meeks, Tashana Roundtree, Tony Cooper, Temptress Mines, Nicholas Horton, Maisha Clay, Shakiria Redmond, Isaac Randall, Kayla Redmond, Rabia Moore, Andrea Witt, Zamia Brownlow, Samantha Deering, and Jakayla Winters. Congratulate these students for their All right, finally, this morning, competitors went to the elementary district's science fair to compete in the Region 3 elementary science fair at Delta State University. With over 300 competitors at the event, our students' projects competed against the best in the Delta area. Although their projects were well crafted, the district only had one student to place in the competition. You've heard this name before. Babadria Bridgeford, Mr. Bridgeford placed first. and high scoring from the judges. Congratulations.
It's always good to hear great things going on. We want to congratulate all the students. We want to congratulate their teachers, their parents, as well as the principals of the school. We ask you all to keep up the good work and keep bringing good things back to us. Next on the agenda, item 5, public comment. Wow, we have a very short public comment. We're going to have one contestant this evening, and that is Miss Elois Lucky. Miss Lucky, we're going to give you 3 minutes. Come on up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Board, and then today, well, you know, I can talk loud.
Yes, ma'am.
Look, I'm getting up to say something concerning our children in school. They're just doing hard. We need to do something. Our children are getting out of hand. The teachers cannot control them. They are cussing, getting very loud. You try to talk to them. They want to tell you what you cannot tell them what to do in class. Now, I have several children that I had to kind of discipline, take them to the office. But I got discipline for taking them to the office because I asked them to be quiet and I asked them to hush. Now, if I'm going to teach the classroom and the principal going to try to discipline me out in the office, I do not like that. When we have some problem with our children, I think our parents should be able to keep our children in line, and the teachers should be able to have the class, control the classroom.
Excuse me, Ms. Lucky. I heard you say something in your talk. This is a personnel matter, and we have an executive session that we're going in, and we're going to discuss this in the executive session. We thank you. There is no one else in the public comment. We move down to item 6, the approval of minutes. February 22nd, 2019, February 28th, 2019, March the 7th, 2019, and March 25th, 2019. Chair will entertain a motion.
Chair,
Yes.
I move the approval of the minutes, February 22nd, February 28th, March 7th, March 25th.
It's been a motion by Elder Dean and second by Ms. Jones that the approval of the minutes be approved. All those in favor, you sign the vote now.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Item 7, presentation of the school plan.
Mr. President, we have a few presentations, matter of fact, from each school as required by MGE. And then we'll also remove the cohort data tracker presentation. It was just only here from each school. sharing their performance, what is happening in their school at this time. We're going to start with William Dean, school principal. Ms. Wheaton.
Good evening.
Good evening.
To school board president, board members, Superintendent Henderson. I send you greetings from William Dean Junior Elementary School, where our motto is every student matters and every moment counts. I would be amiss if I did not recognize the two people that helped me be able to run my school effectively and do the job that we're able to do every day. But Ms. Arnedra Floyd, my assistant principal, as well as Ms. Stacy Smith, my team of instruction. Thank you, ladies. I'll begin with a little summary about William Dean Junior Elementary. We're located in Lexington, Mississippi. We have a fairly new building, beautiful, inviting campus. I thank my board members for that. We have two main hallways within our building that separate our pre-K through second grade, as well as our third through fifth grade students. Students and teachers have access to a library, music classroom, gymnasium, as well as 2 computer labs. I have 591 beautiful babies that I enjoy seeing each and every day, with about 4 sections per grade level. And there you can see a kind of a breakdown of our school demographics. Our current student attendance rate is 96.30, and we'll continue to try to improve that each and every day. I also give you a breakdown of the days present for our students and how many days our students have accumulated since August. My average daily attendance for teachers is 98%. All right, our accountability needs, I'm kind of giving you a snapshot of where William Dean has been over the last 3 years, with 211 being our total accountability points for the 17-18 school year. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what are some of the needs that we can identify during our needs assessment, and what are the factors that kind of led to where William Dean is currently. Classroom management, as well as student discipline, a lack of highly qualified or certified teachers, ineffective tier 1 instruction, that can also be tier 2 or tier 3 instruction, remediation and intervention, as well as a consistent, focused professional development for teachers and student attendance. So some of the goals that we formulated for William Dean, of course, is always to increase student achievement. And how are we going to do that? I'll discuss in my next slide. Number 2, ensuring that students have an environment that is safe and conducive for learning, as well as building a stronger community and school culture. So how are we going to get there? So the first thing that I had to do, or my team and I had to do when we entered William Dean, is understand student behavior and putting a plan in place for teachers to be able to handle the student behavior. We also noticed that a lack of student and teacher engagement is what brews the disruptive behavior. Strategy number 2 is understanding, not only from the administrative perspective, but from a teacher perspective, what does it mean to deliver instruction? So we had to tackle scheduling, making sure that we had enough minutes within the school day, making sure that there was enough planning time for teachers to have, making sure that the lesson plan format was implemented and utilized effectively, implementation of that lesson, as well as providing teachers with observations and feedback. And strategy number 3, understanding the system and how it works and building relationships. So that's one of the things that I really wanted to do at William Dean, is just kind of see how it was running prior to me coming here. I wanted to see how the system worked, and that allowed me to be able to monitor it and determine if the organizational system was working effectively, and being able to know the strengths and the weaknesses of not only the teachers but the students as well. Culture and parent engagement, again, that goes back to my 3rd goal. And how do we do that? Grade level parent meetings. We conducted parent meetings throughout this year, as well as making sure that we keep an open line of communication with our parents, daily behavior logs and communication logs, making sure that parents are receiving bi-weekly progress reports so that they know whether students are performing academically, making sure that teachers are participating in weekly and bi-weekly professional learning communities, as well as providing teachers with observation and feedback. We have to communicate with our parents. We have to partner with our parents. We have to keep them informed. we have to provide support, and we have to monitor our organizational system. It's that time. I wanted to share this slide with you, the iceberg illusion, because what we see sometimes is just on the surface. People don't see the dedication that my staff and I have put forth. They don't see the hard work that goes into educating boys and girls every day. They don't see the good habits that we had to form. They won't see the disappointments that we faced or the sacrifices we've had to make. They don't see the failures that we've had to overcome. And they don't see the persistence that we have to not give up, and we won't. It's that time. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. To Board President Anderson, board members, and Superintendent Henderson, I do bid you farewell on this glorious evening. I am here representing William Sullivan Elementary School, and I will present the school success plan. Just some background about William Sullivan Elementary. William Sullivan Elementary, we are rich in culture at William Sullivan Elementary. We're a little small school located in Jared, Mississippi, on the east side of town. We're known to be the Yellow Jackets, and we're not to be confused with bumblebees. So just make that note. We're not to be confused with bumblebees. Just a little demographics. We service grades pre-K through 8. Our student population is approximately 300 students. We're 99% African American, and our staff comprises primarily of 20 teachers and 8 paraprofessionals. For school accountability, there are 2 indicators that we want to address when we talk about school accountability. We are attempting to reach a goal of increasing our total points school-wide on the state test, maintaining a 95% or higher participation rate on state tests. And you can see there's just a little accountability history there when it comes to William Sullivan Elementary. We have been a school improvement grant school for about 6 years and labeled a priority school for the past 2 years. William Sullivan Elementary has experienced large amounts of turnover from year to year. Our accountability results for last year accumulated with 255 points, so you can see our accountability history right there. There is a graphical representation there to kind of outline where we are, but we are striving, and we feel this year that we are moving in the right direction. Some academic school goals, indicators 1 and 3 deals with increasing the percentage of students reading and performing at a proficient level in grades 1 through 8 at or above benchmark in ELA and math. And we're also looking to improve growth in literacy and math. And so here what you have is a compilation of how we plan to capture those points in ELA, math, and science, in proficiency, growth, and with our lowest performing students to accumulate our point goal of 328 points. And that would land us at a C. Some strategies and how we plan to get that accomplished. Again, we are addressing indicator 1, 2, and 3, increasing the percentage of students reading and performing in math and ELA to try to get them at or above benchmarks. Some of the things that we've done, we've had our teachers to create success plans. Each teacher had to create a success plan, looking at the data analysis, identifying strengths and weaknesses within those strengths. One of the things we have been adamant about this year is making sure that we're monitoring and tracking that data, student data and teacher data, and those trackers are monitored every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, as we are capturing those data points. Classroom observations, we are providing feedback. I would like to thank the board because we have received a lot of training this year already, training with discourse cards to engage students. We are focusing on increasing our engagement in the conversation that teachers are having with students this year. Also, the data conversations are taking place with parents, trying to help parents to understand the different data points that we have. So what we did this year was we created a map report card. There's the data that they receive when they come out on report card day and midterm, but there's also other data points that they need to understand as well. So we tried to make sure we highlighted that and made it a little friendly when it came to communicating to parents. Here's just another graphical representation of increasing the percentage of students passing the 3rd grade reading gate. That is dear and near to my heart. Every year, trying to make sure we support parents mentally in this process. So you can see over the years, we have increased that. Last year, we did 95% pass rate with only one student failing. This year, we plan to do the same. So we want to make sure that we're headed in the right direction. It's a little heartbreaking to communicate to a parent that their child won't go to the 4th grade. So we're doing everything we can to push through for that 3rd grade reading game. Our school culture, addressing indicator 5 and 6, reducing the number of major disciplinary referrals and out-of-school suspensions. We're looking at those disciplinary infractions. We hear the parents, we hear the community when it comes to discipline. We just ask for everybody to be patient as we make this transition and implement our PBIS system that will support positive classroom management throughout our schools. It is a process, and we are moving in the right direction. I would like to thank the board and the district for supporting us in our PBIS efforts as well as our MTSS efforts. We are seeing some change. One thing that William Sullivan Elementary has done this year is we have utilized those wraparound services where we had the services to come into the school like Life Health, Youth Villages, Family First. We just did a donut for dad and mom when they came in to do a presentation to communicate to them some of the services that they have for the whole family. Because one of the challenges is we're addressing the children, but we still need to address the family as well. So that's one point that we're missing in the whole scheme of things of trying to make an impact on student data, on student behavior. There's a parent piece that we need to bring into the schools. Looking at teacher attendance and student attendance and the retention rate, we have maintained 95% and higher this year, so we are excited about that. We attribute that to our PBIS system. We do have PBIS for our teachers as well, where they can wear jeans on Fridays. We created a teacher coupon book where they can have lunch off campus and things of that nature. They get the, excuse me, they get their picture up. So it is working. Social time is big with middle school. So middle school is social time if they want social time. Parent engagement, the monthly parent meetings. What has really kicked us off this year has been our NISL parent workshops. And again, thank you to the district, to the board and the superintendent for initiating that parent and community workshop. They have opportunity to give us feedback, to let us know some of the things that they desire in our schools so that we can work toward in the 2020 school term. So we do thank you for that as well. It's that time. Our superintendent has given us a charge, all hands on deck. And one of the things that we are pushing for this year is growth. We are seeing the growth that we need. In the areas, proficiency is still a challenge, but we are moving in the right directions. All the conversations are being held with students and teachers to encourage and motivate. At William Sullivan Elementary, at the end of the day, we are continuing to try to raise expectations, demand excellence going for the goal. Thank you.
Good evening, our school board president, school board members, and our superintendent, Dr. Henderson. I bring you greetings from SB Marshall Elementary. We were tasked with given the time limit, and it appears that most principals before you went over that time. So I'm going to try to stay within that time frame. So I will begin presenting to you the school success plan for SB Marshall.
You're really going to embarrass us like that.
Information about SB Marshall Elementary. It is located in Mississippi. Some people call us down the hill, on the hill. But we are in Shula. We serve students grade K through 8. We have 780 students that we service. Most of our students are African American, and our instructional staff includes 47 teachers and 9 paraprofessionals. I didn't include. I'm sorry, I forgot the custodial staff. I left it off the paper, but we are large at SB Marshall. If anybody's been down here. School accountability, here are our numbers for the past 3 years, in 2016 and 2017. SB Marshall was labeled an eligible school. For the 2018 year, which is our current label, we are proud to say that we are a D. We're not where we want to be, but we definitely are not where we were. We made a 69-point gain, and the task we have now is to double that. We want to show a 140-point gain this year. which leads us to our next slide. These are our actual numbers from 2018. We were so close to a C that the teacher said, why go for a C, Dr. Pearson? Let's say I'll go higher, we'll work hard, we'll do it. So our goal is a 377B. Those are our actual percentages. And in looking at our numbers, our goals, there was a focus on proficiency this year. So we know we have to move students to make them, more of our students proficient building-wide. And that's ELA, math, and science. The goals that we implemented to get those 140 points, one of the first things that we do at SB Marshall, if you walk in our building, everybody talk about data. Every decision we made is around data. We're constantly identifying our strengths and weaknesses to make improvements. At SB Marshall, everybody knows Wednesdays we teach teachers. The students gonna learn, and we want students to get better. Teachers have to learn. So Wednesdays are our days. I have a calendar where we say bi-weekly, but almost every Wednesday I take their planning periods and we're in some type of conversation that we're learning. Provide feedback to teachers. That's important. Thank the district for the training on how to better provide feedback to teachers so they can improve. And we're also targeting our bottom 25. Our bottom 25 are struggling students. Those students are important. Looking at our data again from our formative and summative assessments, we're focused now on small group instruction. And one of the things that we're really doing this year that's different from last year, we're allowing students to track their own data. School culture, one of our goals is to maintain 95% attendance rate for students and teachers. We are proud to say that SB Marshall, with 780 students, we have exceeded that goal all year long. We're on average about 98% student attendance. So students do come to school at SB Marshall Elementary. And we do that by tracking attendance. We have Ms. Sims who hats off to her. She called parents, we literally call parents when students are out. Recognize students, field trips, different incentives, our teachers as well. We give them passes as well. Another goal for our school culture is to reduce the number of overall disruption and suspensions. Thank the district for introducing to the schools, and something we've really utilized this year is our restorative practices. Instead of suspending students, we have what we call circle time, mediated sessions, and all that is navigated throughout counselors. I'm fortunate enough to have 2 counselors at school. So that has really been helpful to our students. Of course, we do behavior plans, MTSS, PBIS, and all those to try to change behavior. And also, thank the school board. You all probably have seen field trips. Most of our trips are restorative field trips, and they don't target the kids that always go who are A and B students, but those field trips are for students who have behavior problems. And I can honestly say we have gotten calls from the Civil Rights Museum and different places they've gone to say that, call back, who are a bus full of behavior kids supposedly, that you all have had the best kids. I just wanted to call the school principal and say, you know, we've never had a do that. Parent engagement. At SB Marshall, we send home, take home Thursdays until I run out of paper, but we send take home Thursdays. We're getting better at, in addition to the district call outs, we use Remind and Class Dojo where you communicate from the cell phone to teachers. We're collaborating with PTA and the middle school, the partnership through the district that we have been engaged in. That's really working well in our schools. Work hard, and we have been fortunate enough to have parent volunteers to come out. We have retired teachers who have committed to coming out building, and actually they're coming in and tutoring our 3rd graders for the upcoming state test. As our superintendent say, it's that time. And we created in January an urgent plan of action. And one of the teachers said, Dr. Pearson, what you urgency? Rome wasn't built in a day. And I said, well, guess what? They lay bricks every day, though. They lay bricks every day. So, at SB Marshall, when students get off the bus, I wish my student would hear it. Well, he's here, he can tell you. What do? Tiger time. In homeroom, students are learning. Vocabulary, reading comprehension. We're introducing those state practice items to students, test-taking strategies, small group. We're still tracking the data to the end. And we're doing a testing countdown. We have 2 weeks. whether we like it or not, 2 weeks before state testing, 10 days. And we're also focusing on our bubble students, Dr. Henry gives me the eye. And lastly, we motivate. Teachers and students. Teachers are tired, students are tired. Motivate.
Great evening, everyone. Great evening. To Board President Anderson, board members, Superintendent Dr. Henderson, I present to you the Eagle Nest Goodman Pickens Success Plan. The Eagle's Nest is located in a rural community between Goodman and Pickens. We serve students in grades K through 5. Currently our enrollment is about 226. And for the last 3 years, I can't take the credit, thank you, Ms. Wheaton has been a C, 15, 16, 16, 17, and 17, 18. And before that too.
You all 5 years?
She's all 5, I apologize. Our teacher staff includes 15 instructional staff and 4 non-instructional staff. So how do we get there? On our MAP reading assessment, we have at level 3, which is our bubble kids, and we're focusing on those kids this year. About 29, roughly 30% of those students for the 2018 school year. 4 or level 5, we had it right at 41%, but our goal for this year, as you can see, is 45%. And so we always focus on growing everybody in the building. And growth overall was 57.7, and our target for this year is 61%. Our promising scholars is 66.7%, and our target for this year is 75%. In mathematics, our level 3 or bubble students was 38%, level 4 or 5 was 24.1, and our target for this year is 34.1%. Our growth percentage for 2018 was 55.4, and our target is 61%. And our promising scholars was 50% growth, and we're going for 60% this year. So our school improvement needs this year, because we had 41% of our students that were proficient in ELA and 24% in mathematics, we're reaching for 10% at each grade level. That's a level 4. And then our level 5 students, we're going to reach for 5% growth at each grade level. How do we get there? We get there by intense tier 1 instruction in all K-5 classrooms. I would like to thank the academics team and the ITT team. They have really been pushing us, pulling things out to make sure that we're providing support, teacher content knowledge. They've made sure we've had professional development with the READY programs, the iReady programs, to make sure that we're utilizing the data to drive those goals and push those students. We're using the district curriculum guides. We're using our technology to enhance learning. Kids want to be engaged in the classroom. They want to get up and move around.
I'm sorry. We just identified or operationally define ITT.
That's the instructional team, instructional team that we have with Dr. Rucker, where they come out and that we go in the classroom, we observe the classrooms. And so we have 4 priorities that we're looking at: student engagement. Are we maximizing instructional time on task? Are we increasing the rigor of tasks, talk, and writing? Are we making sure that we're checking for understanding? And so that's consistent observation. They're observing us and we're observing the teachers and providing feedback.
Thank you.
And so we can't get anywhere without having that foundation, and we know that everything starts at home. So what do we do to bring those parents and community in? I have several things listed. We started with the open house. We partnered with Greg Davis, who's a former graduate of Goodman Pickens in Holmes County School District. We had a senior citizen canned food drive where the kids in the homerooms brought canned goods in. And he told him like, well, I'll be running my game truck because he's an entrepreneur. But he can do it like that. We had one class that won, but every K-5 student got on his game trucks for 30 minutes in December. And then that Saturday, we had the canned food drives and they came in and picked up clean goods. We had our first ever Grandparents' Day. They loved it. And we had literacy nights, just things to bring the parents in so we can hear from them and we can get support. Then we had the missile parental engagement. Really, that was just amazing to partner up with our community stakeholders and then go back and talk to our teachers and show them parents want to be involved. We just got to invite them in to build that trust. And ladies and gentlemen, as Dr. Henderson has charged since day one, it is that time. It's that time. Where do we go? Well, we're headed to the future. Now, how can we get there? We're going to continuously monitor. We're going to continuously motivate. We're going to continuously follow curriculum guides, and we're going to increase the rigor because GPE will shine bright by reaching for that 388B this year.
All right.
Good evening. Board President Anderson, board members, our superintendent, Dr. Anderson, thank you all for inviting us out this evening to speak before you. I am here to represent Durant Elementary School and just share some of the things that we are participating in at Durant. To give you a little background on Durant Elementary, we are located, of course, in the city of Durant. As of the 2018-19 school year, our total student body consisted of 320 students. We are 98% African American. We have 3 Caucasian students, and we have 1 student who is Arabic speaking. Accountability needs. Our results for the 2017-18 school year placed the former Durant High School with an accountability of 481 points. Now, upon detaching the numbers from the high school, Durant Elementary would have earned a 287 or 287 cumulative points. Our needs. We know that students in grades 3 through 8, according to math assessment last year, scored 13.7% proficiency in the area of reading. They scored 11% proficient in math and 44% in the area of science. We know that we must increase also our student attendance. Our attendance has been struggling this year with our numbers averaging below 95%. That is something we are constantly working on. We are staying in contact with our parents. We are calling them. We are making every effort to try to get our students to school. In some cases, we've even almost resorted to the fact of going and picking them up. Haven't gotten to that point yet, but we're working on it. Accountability needs. Where are we currently? As of our January 19th benchmark, as you can see in the green, we have targeted student numbers. Those are our targeted goals. But according to where we are, the column right next to it, to the left of it, in ELA, advanced and proficient, we hit 31. There's 31 actual students in the building who scored advanced and proficient, but our target is 35. For the pass range, we had 67 students. Our target is 77. For basic, no more than 86. Currently, we're at 89. And for our minimum category, no more than 36, we're at 47. Now, that's an ELA. Now, as you look at that, you may be thinking some of those numbers are still high. But compared to where we're coming from, our students have grown. We have moved a tremendous amount of students off of the bottom minimum into the basic or the pass range, which has truly helped us in our growth. That is in ELA and in math. If you take a look at the mathematics numbers, our target is 28. For advanced and proficient, we currently have 23. Our target for pass is 96, we currently have 88. Basic, 85, we have 86. And then for minimum, 25, we have 29. So we are working very hard to move our students off of the bottom to put them in those top tier categories between basic and advanced to show growth. We gain points for growth, and we are going for it. Goals and strategies. Durant is driven to be an A-level school. We know that we have incremental steps that we need to take, but our goal is to be an A. In order to accomplish our goal, we know that we have to become proficient in 6 areas. First, we have to dive deeper into our data. Secondly, we know we have to determine our areas of growth, and after we determine them, instill the proper amount of rigor in order to close those gaps. Utilize early detection for interventions. Not wait until a child is failing, but find out long before and intervene in the process. Close that gap. Understand when we need to regroup. If something is not working, you can't continue on the same path. Change it, fix it, move forward. And then ensure our teaching practices are not routine, but they are engaging. We have many things going on at Durant Elementary right now, not only academic, but also with our clubs and different organizations that we have. We inducted a group of students into Beta Club today. Very soon it will be National Elementary Honor Society. We have culinary clubs. We have other clubs in the sense that kids are flocking to these groups and they want to do better. We have to keep them engaged. Creating a school climate that is inviting to all and above all is nurturing. Yes, school is open, but as we see from our attendance, it's dwindling. Give them reasons to come to school. Give parents reasons to want to come in. We invite our parents out to come out for lunch every day. Moms on Monday, grandparents on Wednesdays, dads on Fridays. If they want to come out, they can have lunch with their students at any given point. All they have to do is show up. Open up for parent meetings. We want the feedback. We ask for the feedback. If they want to give us information, if we're not doing something right, if I'm not doing something right, my parents know all they have to do. My door is always open to tell them, and we fix it. Culture and parent engagement. It gets to that point. The school leadership team, which is comprised of school administrators, faculty, and parents. Durant Elementary works to keep all stakeholders aware of the happenings and what's going on in the school. We do this by not only placing phone calls, but also our weekly newsletters to teachers. We use our Remind apps anytime we need to reach parents with pertinent information. And we also have a Durant Elementary School Parent PLC email. So if anything is coming out for those parents who have signed up or have given me their email address, I send a quick email just as though I'm sending it to another member of Holmes County, and they get it immediately. Monitoring and evaluation of our school plan. In order for us to make sure that we're implementing the plan, we know we have to have monitors. In order to do this, we're going to be sending home quarterly parent and student surveys. Also meeting with our parents. It was already mentioned about our initial parent meetings. We do those as well. And through our parent contact logs. That's how we are going to track and prove what we are doing. And if we're not, again, change and fix it. Now, because it's that time, the faculty and staff of Durant Elementary understand what it's going to take in order for us to get to our goal. Remember, we're shooting to be an A-level school. We understand that we can't proceed the same way that we always have. We have to change, we have to adapt, and not be afraid of it. We also understand that we cannot do this alone. We need our children, we need our parents, we need our central office staff, we need our entire community to work as a collective in order to move. I had a parent call me just yesterday and asked why certain students were at home. Said, I've seen kids at home all week long. Just a week or so ago. I need to know what are y'all doing about it? And I had to share with them. Well, it was spring break. Once she took that into consideration, she said, I'll let you know what's in it. But that's the type of engagement we need. We need that community to call and ask if they see something that's not working. We know, as that last bullet point says, working together, we will be an A-level school. It's going to take all of us. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
To President of the Board, members, and to the Superintendent. Thank you for allowing me to stand before you today to present the information for Holmes County Central High School Jaguar Nation.
All right, so I would like to begin by discussing our school demographics and characteristics. We are a 9th through 12th grade school with a population of 842 students, 456 males, that's 346 females. 99.9% of our students are African American. We have 50 teachers, 9 paraprofessionals, 4 people on clerical staff, and 4 custodians. Our school accountability for the year 2016 through 2017, we had 555 points, which was a C. For 2017-2018, we had 556 points, which is a D. And to those of you who are wondering how 555 is a C and 556 is a D, the state changed the accountability model. So 556 became a D on the new model for the state. All right, 2018-19 academic school goals, 680 points, which is a B. Currently in English 2, we have 16.2 points, and we need 33 points. In Algebra 1, we have 14.8 points, and we need 30. 34.3 in biology, we need 60. In U.S. history, 34.7, 60 points. Acceleration, we need 59.3, that's 80 points. College and career, 9.5, which is 34 points. And our graduation rate, 82.4 was current, and we need 170 points. Now, the teachers already know exactly, we have it here listed in points, they know exactly how many students those are. If they'll need an aptitude to score proficiency in order for us to get those points, those students have been identified. They know who they are, the teachers know who they are. All right, academic goals strategy, provide interventions to students identified in bottom 25%. Analyze student and teacher data. We use the data to inform decisions and to make plans. Leadership maintains a culture where student learning is paramount. We teach the teachers through PLCs. On Tuesdays, we have PLCs. I'm usually running those, along with Dr. Ruckle comes in to help, the ITT team comes in. We have a high school instructional team as well. So I would like to thank the board for allowing those teams to come into the high school to help us with the instruction. All right, so we progress monitor students through formative and summative assessment. We provide test prep and after school tutorials for students. Those students that I talked about a little earlier who were identified as the students that we needed for proficiency, those students have been invited for after school. So any parents who are here, ask your child, were they invited to stay for after school? Some phone calls went out on yesterday, so we can get a few more. I just need to throw this plug in because we need a few more students in after school. We're trying to reach our goal. In order to do it, we need the students there. Okay? So ask your children. All right, our goal is to maintain 95% attendance rate for students. I was really happy to hear the elementary schools and their attendance rate. Right now, we're at 92%. We're up to 90. We need to be at 95. So again, we need your help. Tell the children, make them come to school. All right? We're tracking their attendance. We encourage daily attendance through parent contact and PBIS activities. We conduct individual meetings with parents and students who are habitually tardy and or absent. We have National Honor Society and Beta Club standards, and that helps us with the attendance. School culture. Our goal is to reduce the number of overall disruptions and suspensions. How are we going to do that? By monitoring the suspensions data daily. Some students have check-in, check-out. They check in, check out to make sure that their behavior is intact. You doing all right today? You need to come to my room for a little while. Do I need to see? Do you need to go to a specific place? Do the coach need to talk to you for a little while? So that we can make sure that you're here and your day goes smooth. You don't have to go home. We provide ongoing classroom management through our PLCs and data meetings. We encourage positive choices through PBIS again, MTSS. Okay? We work with the life health counselors and community mentors. If we can get some more life health counselors, that would be awesome. All right. We have inclusion of graduates within REACH program, and then we have our CTE, which is the Career and Technical Center. The graduates within REACH program, that's why our students are able to regain credit. Okay. So that's what that program is about. The students that are selected for the Graduate Within Reach are those students who are 2 years behind, and they're maybe, now just be specific, there may be a ninth grader who is 17. Okay? If that student and has poor attendance, the students are able to attend the Graduate Within Reach program to try to regain some of those credits to help us with their graduation rate so that they can finish with the cohort that they began with. Parental or parent engagement to increase positive contact with parents. Parents, we hear you. At the elementary school, we send home notes, we make phone calls, there's flyers, there's take home Thursdays. There's a disconnection between the elementary and high school, and we see that and we recognize that. I told the students we're gonna start stapling notes to them to say come to their parents in high school so their parents will know what's going on. So one of the ways we're planning to correct that is to inform parents of school events, report card day, report card pickup, holidays, reward days, etc. through using robocalls. And we're going to incorporate more phone calls, positive phone calls as well. We keep open door policy at the school. All right? Urgent plan of action. We're tracking the students' data, remediation courses for retesters, that's the Graduate Within Reach program, formal observation and feedback is used as well. You see the little jaguar up there on the picture. At Jag Nation, we are excelling in all type of sports. We're doing everything. We went in basketball. We won our division. Okay, we went to the first round. In football, we won the division. We made it to the first round. I'm gonna use those two. But we got powerlifting. We got baseball. We have this. We have that. All the parents are there. It's that time for us to excel in academics, the same way we're doing in athletics. So this is that time for us to do that. So with your help, parents, other faculty members, Mr. Thomas back there, I see our assistant principal back there. It's that time, isn't that right, Mr. Thomas?
Yeah,
what we
sure
have to reach our goal of 608. Thank you.
That is our last presentation, but I really would like to hear from Mr. Eddie Allen about the Graduate Within Reach program. Just give the board just a brief synopsis of what's happening over there.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wish I would have known I would have brought a little presentation, but to the board, Dr. Henderson, and the administrative team, and all my colleagues and all the parents, I want to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to have this program. Just a briefing. Today, when I arrived this afternoon, I have one student that has 6 credits who's trying to be a senior. So all of our students, about 75% of our students at least, have picked up 2 or more credits so far. They are working very hard. As an administrator, this program is vital for a district that is in school improvement. It gives our parents an opportunity to receive a progress report card weekly. It gives them an opportunity to come in and work with their child, not only at home, but they come into the building and work with them. And like I said before, this program is a vital part of the success of Holmes County Consolidated School District. Thank you.
We thank you all for the information you just shared with us. We know that we have discipline problems, but we know that each generation of children is weaker and wiser. Because they get wiser, we have to continue to train them up in the way that they should go so they can reach tomorrow. We thank you all for what you do in educating our children. With that being said, we're now down at next item, which is item 8, financial business.
Good evening, Board President Anderson.
Good evening.
Excuse me, honorable board members, students, financial business, we'll start with the claims docket. And, that's for discussion. Are there any questions related to that? No? Okay. What about the financial reports? One thing that I do want to say about that is that we continue to spend conservatively, even with some of the issues that we have with plumbing. We're still under, if we compare this year to last year, combined Durant and Holmes County school districts, we're still about 1.3 under where they were last year, so that's a good thing. Any questions about the financial report?
No.
The next one.
All right. We're now down to item 8. And I want to thank the superintendent for organizing a work session before the board meeting, because we're able to ask questions and answer questions and get clarity on things that we may not understand with the agenda. So with that being said, the chair will entertain a motion for item number 8.
Sure.
Yes, sir. It's been motioned by Elder Dean and second by Ms. Jones that we will approve the item 8, which is on financial business. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
We have one opposed, Ms. Bridget. Ayes have it, it's been, and the motion is carried. Item number 9, the approval to accept donated funds.
Okay. We had 2 donations this past month, both going to the Loretto Drain Wiley Fine Arts Academy. One was by Loretto Drain Wiley herself for $1,500, and the other was by Irma Davis for $207. And we would just like for you to accept those donations.
I move that we accept the donations from Ms. Wiley as well as Ms. Davis.
The motion by Ms. Jones and second by Ms. Williams that we will approve item number 9, which is the approval to accept donated funds from Ms. Aretha Wiley and Ms. Irma Davis. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Item 10, approval to purchase tires for transportation.
Yes, it's that time for us to purchase new tires for the buses. They are, the cost of that purchase is $38,373.24. And so we just need that approval to keep everyone safe, the drivers and the students. You know, we have a lot of potholes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms.
I so move that we approve the purchase of tires for buses.
I second.
It's been motioned by Ms. Williams and second by Ms. Jones that we approve to purchase tires for buses. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Next item, authority to advertise for lawn service, and also advertise for laptops for teachers and administrators.
Okay, as far as the lawn service, this is service that will begin July 1 for the school year 1920. And we would like to advertise and see who all is interested in doing our grounds, keeping our campuses.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion, give authority to advertise for lawn service.
I second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Horton and second by Ms. Jones that this board will give the authority to advertise for lawn service. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposing? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Next item.
Okay. The academic you're approved to advertise for laptops. And this is the laptops for teachers and administrators for the one-to-one computing initiative. So we'd like to advertise for that.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion to give authority to advertise for laptop teachers and administrators.
Sure.
It's been motioned by Mr. Horton and second by Elder Dean that this board will give the authority to advertise for the computing initiative. All those in favor, use the sign of vote now. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Next item on the agenda, item 12, authority to purchase Chromebooks.
Good evening again. In order to increase the quantity and quality of our students' devices, we're proposing to purchase 720 Chromebooks for schools in order to increase the quantity and quality of what we have for student devices. This is in service of creating a one-to-one student computing environment, and this is one of the first steps for that. We also need charging carts for those Chromebooks, and so we're proposing 720 Chromebooks and approximately 29 Chromebook carts to make sure that we are meeting the needs immediately for the testing season, but ultimately many of our products, curricular products, and testing is done online now, so we need to make sure that each student has access. The total cost is approximately $195,000, and we're looking at a blended funding source between local and federal funds.
Total cost of that.
$195,000.
Okay, Chair would entertain a motion for authority to purchase Chromebooks and Chromebook cards.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Winters.
I so move.
It's been motioned by Ms. Winters and second by Ms. Jones that this board will give the authority to advertise to purchase Chromebooks and Chromebook cards. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. Next item. Item 13, the approval of quote for time.
The Finance Department is asking for the board to approve the time clocks, and this is necessary for the, we've already approved Marathon, our new accounting system. So now we need the time clocks to go with that. And the good thing about these time clocks is that Marathon, it will feed into Marathon as well as the front line. And we will only need one per campus. Some campuses have two, and that's because the entries, it would only hold 500. This is unlimited entries. So therefore, we can approve these time clocks. And the last time that we purchased time clocks was over 10 years ago, let me say that. So they are in need of update.
So my time when I clock in is gonna be erased.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Winters.
I so move that we approve time clocks.
It's been motioned by Ms. Winters and seconded by Ms. Jones that this board will approve the quote for purchasing of time clocks. All those in favor, use the sign of vote now. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you. Next item, item 14, out-of-district travel request.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Moore.
make the motion to the board's approval of this travel.
Can I second?
It's been motioned by Mr. Horton and seconded by Ms. Jones that this board will approve the out-of-district travel request. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion has been carried. All right, next item, out-of-district state request.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion to the board for another district state request. Second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Horton and seconded by Elder Dean that this board will approve the out-of-state travel request. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. Item 16, consulting contractual agreements.
Yes, the first one is Darrell J. Woods. I'm asking that we bring in Mr. Woods to work with us in the finance department during the transition period for the next 3 months.
Yes, well, I would like to do it together.
Item 6.2 is a annual agreement with Ion Wave Technologies for the software we use to write IEPs for students with disabilities. And that's FedTrack, at a total cost of $5,615 per year.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consultant contract.
I second.
It's been motioned by Mr. Horton and seconded by Ms. Jones that this board will approve the consulting contractual agreements. All those in favor, use the sign of voting aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. That motion have been carried. Item 17, letters of engagement. Chair will entertain the motion.
Okay, do you want to discuss it?
No,
Okay.
motion. On one motion. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Brooks.
I so move that we accept items 17.1 through 17.4.
Second.
It's been motioned by Ms. Winters and seconded by Elder Dean that this board will entertain the motion letters of engagement, which is item 17.1 through 17.4. All those in favor, use the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
We have one opposed, Ms. Bishop. Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. Item 18, approval of high school course catalog.
Good evening again. A team of school administrators, teachers, counselors, and the district academics team collaborated over the past couple of months to create the Holmes County Central High School course catalog. And this was our attempt to standardize courses throughout the high school, also to ensure that parents, students, and the community understand the courses that are offered at the high school, used as a communication tool and a planning tool for students. So all of the courses that are offered at the high school are now contained in this high school catalog, and this will be continuously monitored and updated as we add courses, delete courses, etc. One, I wanted to point out a couple of changes to the courses at the high school, and this includes raising the rigor of some of our courses at the high school. And that includes increasing the number of electives that we have. We're offering, we'll be offering graphic design, coding, world communication, offering again debate at the high school, and broadcast journalism. This was as a result of student requests, teacher requests, administrator requests to make sure that we have more electives and more choice for students as they're going through high school. We also have an addition of one AP course, and that's AP World History. We're also adding advanced ELA courses so that students in 9th and 10th grade can take an advanced ELA course so that they can be prepared to go into the AP courses in 11th and 12th grade. And then we're also making one change to the schedule of the high school, and I think Ms. Keith mentioned that, and that's going to a block schedule instead of the regular period day. These blocks will be 95 minutes, which will allow students and teachers more time to dedicate in one class for that time period. Again, thank a team of school leaders, teachers, and others who contributed to this. And as I said, this will be updated as we make changes to the courses at the high school over time.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion on approval of the high school course catalog.
It's been motioned by Mr. Martin, second by Ms. Jones, that this board will approve the high school course catalog. All those in favor, use the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. Next item, item 19, 2019-2020 Career Technical Education.
Yes, year, the Career Technical Center submits a plan to the Mississippi Department of Education for the Carl Perkins Basic Grant and submits assurances to the state that will abide by all of the rules related to the Perkins Grant. We're also required to make any adjustments to the courses offered. There are two changes to the courses that we're offering in career technical education. One is moving from ICT, that's Information and Communication Technology, to Cyber Foundations. Cyber Foundations is a course that NDE will require in 2 years. So we're getting a jump on that requirement to make sure that our students are up to date for that course. And there's also one course changing from the Science of Agriculture of Animals to Agribusiness Level 1. And that's a change to put our students at the forefront of agribusiness, to get them prepared to go into business for themselves in the career of agriculture. And again, this assurance and document plan is submitted to the state each year.
If you have no questions, Chair would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move the approval of career technical education and local plan updates assurance.
It's been motion by Elder Dean, and second by Ms. Wonder, that this board will approve the CTE local plan and assurance. All those in favor, use the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. Next item. Item 20, personnel recommendation.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the resignations.
Second.
It's been motion by Mr. Harden and second by Ms. Winters that this board will approve the personnel recommendation. All those in favor, use the sign of voting aye. Opposes? Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. All right, next item, item 2021, that's the superintendent's report, and that will be a consent agenda.
Okay. Just before we,
Yes, sir.
speak just briefly. Let me just share with you quickly. And last evening, we had an incident in the Chula area whereby a bus was on its way home, taking kids home. Approximately 21 students were on the bus. To our understanding and knowledge from local authorities and the Mississippi Highway Patrol, that was a drive-by shooter, if you will. We do not know to date whether or not that individual was in a car or standing out someplace who took a shot at the school bus. Fortunately, 2 bullets. Fortunately, one in the back, and the second one was about the 6th window down, where the bullet came just under the glass. And fortunately, there was no child sitting in the seat where the bullet came through. Once the bullet came through, it ricocheted and went through the seat, came out to the back seat. In lieu of hitting the person that was sitting directly behind that bullet coming out, again it ricocheted and hit the kid on the other side of the aisle. Hit the kid in his hand, 10 years old. Basically grazed his hand, but it's a 10-year-old, people. It's a hot bullet. It's there. Then it hit his index finger. To our understanding, once it hit its finger, it dropped to the floor. To our understanding from the Mississippi Highway Patrol, it was a long-distance rifle. Our kids, fortunately, it was not one of our kids, No gun was on that bus. That bullet came from a rifle. Now, this is home for me, and I'm really befuddled and shocked that this would happen right here in Holmes County. For a moment, I thought I was still in Washington, D.C. It is a sad day. And yes, we've talked about discipline, but ladies and gentlemen, we need help. We have a strong responsibility. We do what we can do every day in these classrooms, on the buses, and in communities. But our parents have to step up to the plate. It is the community. It is our responsibility as a community to work to ensure that all children are safe. Now, we do our part. We have to call on this community. And in very short order, we will have what we're calling our 3 C's. A critical community conversation. Not with just this community, but all 7 communities in this county. Because it is that time that we, as a whole, protect our children. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this one more time. There were 21 kids on that bus. And I'm going to go ahead and say, God was in the plan.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't anybody's time that day. So trust me, I've been thanking him all night long.
All right, man.
Because we don't want that
That's right.
under our watch. We're all accountable for these kids. So, we're grateful, but it's that time that we get this community together. And you will be hearing from us in short order about the 3 C's. Also, last week, or actually it was this week, I presented to the board approval of staffing formulas. We will now have staffing formulas across the board. What you see in one school, with the exception of high school, you're going to see in all other schools. We presented the board with a compensation manual. That document will be listed online, so you can go and read and see where you fall. Those of you whose salary will change, not many, you will hear from us directly. Our Leadership Academy, our pipeline. As most of you administrators know and teachers, we will be engaging in growing our own leaders. So we will identify or give employees the opportunity to apply to be a part of this academy. All assistant principals must be in attendance. More information will be coming. Assistant principals and instructional coordinators will be in attendance as we grow our own. Then we have a new interview protocol whereby we will engage the community. Ms. Reeves, I see you back there. I need to talk to you before you leave today. We will engage the community to partake in the interview process for schools across this district. Not only the community, but children as well. We have identified at least 7 students who will be also sitting on these committees. So we're going to get everyone engaged, and you all will have first-hand opportunity to select the next principal of community schools. Then we have, finally, it's that time. It's that time, 2019-2022 strategic plan. We have presented that plan to the board. We're ready to move forward. That document too will be listed online. Along with that, we have pamphlets that will outline our 5 goals and our beliefs, and we're ready to move forward. We've already begun much of that information, much of that work, shall I say, already. So we're moving in the right direction. I'm also asking the board, just for the authority or authorization to advertise request for proposal for outsourcing food service and technology. Now, we will still have much more conversation around this, but we want to at least advertise this. And if you choose to change your mind, we have that time. But we want to go ahead and get it out in the paper so we can get some responses around outsourcing food service and technology. Thank you.
Chair will entertain a motion for item 21.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I move that we approve the superintendent's report.
Second.
The motion by Ms. Jones and second by Elder Dean that this board will approve the superintendent's report. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposed?
Opposed?
One opposed, Ms. Briggs. Ayes have it, that motion have been carried. All right, item 22, consideration, all right, 22, consideration for executive session for personnel matters.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I'd
Mr.
like to
Lord.
make the motion that the board will go into closed session to discuss the consideration of the executive session for personnel matters.
I second.
The motion by Mr. White and second by Ms. Jones, the June floor will go into, discussion, for consideration to go into executive session. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye.
Second.
The motion by Elder Dean and second by Mr. White, that this board will go into executive session for discussion of a personnel matter. All those in favor, use the sign of vote aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, the motion has been carried.
Sir, can I have your autograph? Did I see you on television last night? How about?
Later, hey, make that happen. I appreciate that. It's not easy to do. I know. Before you go in your cousin, we appreciate
Well, I'm trying to
Okay, all right. That man. Look.
I talked to her mom. She did good. She said she gave me some tricks at the end of the day. She did real I did want to see the impression.
It was painless. All right. The chest been a little day. She should. Well, I'll be looking for it.
Okay.
Lesson on Miss Antoine.
That's what it is.
So how bad that?
I look like a mom.
Because when I was reading it, it was referring to just utilizing simply like any type of bacteria. So the
Do they call you like day before?
Oh, I didn't
See,
know.
that'd be like morning with me. And most people like,
We
already.
already did the program, so.
You gonna come soon?
Okay.
She gonna have what?
Right, so that's what I was.
My baby.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll give you my email. You know, I'll shoot you an email. Yeah, because last time we communicated, I'll put the number on there. All right, thank you so much.
All right. How do you feel?
You been trying forever to get first class.
I didn't know.
And you finally got it. When they texted me and sent it to me, I was like, yes, he finally got it. Yes, he's been trying forever to get this. You had to really good job. Thank you. And then on whatever.
Compared to the red kids.
Although he won, he won't be able to go to stage.
They started sixth grade.
But my twins,
And this your first year back in.
you know, they won't give me no film. Come on, Elijah, let's take a picture. Oh, Mr. King. Maybe you'll come back to me. I didn't graduate well. Come on, Elijah. That's my alumni. Oh, Dr. Russell, did you get that information to us? The extra information that we need? Which one is that? I sent you an email. I'm about to read them. So
Meet the list of activities, the coordinator, the time that they're gonna start.
Oh, yes, I have that for you today. You did send me the email. It was the activities. I'm glad you said that. About activities. I have no more problem with your baby. I have no more problem with your baby. He come and sit beside me. Okay. He come and sit beside me. So we don't have, do we just want to put the princess names in? Like we did the rest of them, because we don't have those in behind. Our chosen.
Do you know who made it?
The instructional coach on campus, they have to apply for it.
You see, that's,
He comes to
but you know what?
then how far you want to say, I can't show out.
I mean, you're gonna see the basics. You know, you can say that the other stuff is connected, like, because that's not corporate.
Yeah, y'all need to celebrate. I actually have most typed up. I have my phone. Activities and
But that's what left Mr. West. I was trying to, I don't know what you
I know it because you've been going with this right here.
I know, yes.
Okay.
All right.
See you later.
because I don't know his side. He's gonna do the summer feeding program. And I'm not gonna do it. He's going to, that's why he needs his number, because he's totally different. He works totally different from the food side. Because on the food side, it depends on if he's gonna be an oversight or a road side.
They did something on the computer?
You know, well, that's where they're coming in. And then those people that
Did he video today?
after the snack program.
Yeah.
I don't need no sign in the city. I need the children name listed. They need
Exactly what it should be.
They're
And
not.
then I'm gonna see touch with every last one of them. And then whatever they haven't done, thank you for upload.
They have to have like on that, and the students were putting the incorrect number.
Okay.
You see, because my people changed the number.
That number
Their
should be
ID
tight.
there.
In other words, on the site coordinator, it should be tight. We shouldn't depend on a kid, right?
Right.
And then.
But my people corrected it
Well,
on the sheet that they signed in on.
they won't have to after tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you
All
for
right.
making me aware.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
And that's your purple.
Thank
Miss
you.
Pritchard got on her purple.
Oh, I saw, yes.
I'm gonna have to get me some purple. I don't have any.
I happened to walk by and see this. This is a couple of months ago.
It's a
And I
good-
said, oh,
good
'cause I didn't have any purple.
combination.
I didn't
Me either.
have any purple, you know?
I got some purple. I went to the boutique in Goddamn Bless Boutique. They got some pretty purple up there.
Yeah, I like dark colors.
She got the dark color,
Yeah.
the light color. She got the real dark color purple, the lavender color. I mean, she got them all, they like $19.99. But they were like $30-something, but she had them all down to $19.99.
I wanted to ask the flight attendants where they get their outfits from. The Delta.
Oh,
the